Here is my test presentation, Cultural Diversity Among Refugees in Burlington, Vermont. Social practices have been greatly affected by diversity in culture. Likewise, diversity in culture has been greatly affected by social practices. Things we say and actions we take lead to events which influence culture, and in turn, the evolution of culture changes the way we think and act. Cultural identity has influenced modern society in many ways. People in different geographic locations use to grow and develop their own way of life, their own language, and establish their own rules. With increased amounts of mobility and migration, these cultural groups have become mixed, influencing each other. The way people dress, speak, and even what they eat is influenced by diversity within the culture of the community. I haven't updated my notes for this slide, so I'm just going to skip to the next. My chosen field of study is business administration, with a concentration in human resources. The field of human resources has been greatly influenced by issues of diversity, from issues of equal pay for women, having more women working in the STEM field, discrimination against non-English speakers, finding more livable wages for minority workers, and accommodating individuals with mental illness. Diversity impacts every aspect of the field. Employment laws, recruiting activities, record-keeping, training, and workforce management have been influenced. In the context of human resources, there are many benefits to workplace diversity. The success and competitiveness of a business depends on its ability to embrace and integrate diversity. This allows for increased adaptability in an ever-changing business environment, with a wide variety of ideas and solutions brought to the table. Diversity allows companies to provide a wide range of services in a global market. Communication allows for more ideas and experiences from a wider variety of viewpoints. There are also challenges. Resistance to change in the workplace happens when some employees refuse to accept the new social and cultural makeup of the company. Implementation of workplace policies can also be a struggle. A customized strategy must be created through effective change management and workforce management to be sure that everyone is on the same page during the process. Communication, also cited as a benefit, can be difficult. Employees want to know what is happening. Disseminating information quickly and accurately to keep all parties informed is a good idea. Here I've included a quote. "We need to give each other the space to grow, to be ourselves, to exercise our diversity. We need to give each other space so that we may both give and receive such beautiful things as ideas, openness, dignity, joy, healing, and inclusion." Max Dupree. According to the United Nations, a majority of the world's uprooted people are displaced internally within their own countries. More than 60 million people worldwide are considered refugees or displaced peoples. Refugees often face immense difficulty integrating into the new community and culture that surround them. Language barriers make it difficult for refugees to effectively communicate in order to locate essential services. Being unrecognized residents, it can be extremely difficult to find work, provide for a family, and access health care, leaving refugees in poor socioeconomic standing in their new home. A global issue related to diversity and the refugee crisis is the resistance to accept refugees. Cultural and political division makes it difficult for refugees to find safe places to call home once they have fled their country. More than 98,000 refugees have come to settle in the United States. The origin of the issue is that many people have become accustomed to a certain way of life, and that it has been forgotten that we are all immigrants in some way. Accepting refugees threatens the current cultural and social standing by bringing new cultural ideas and norms and injecting a large group of socioeconomically disadvantaged peoples in an area. Using the European Union as an example, quote, "In the end, the problem boils down to what type of society we want to live in, and what image Europe wants to project to the world. Let's face it, we are rich and lucky. The European Union, in global terms, represents 7% of the population, 25% of GDP, and 50% of social spending. It distributes 65% of development aid and more than 50% of the humanitarian aid. Europe is a magnet because, despite all its problems, it has one of the highest GDP per capita ratios and the lowest inequalities. It is a haven of stability and respect for individual rights." Unquote. While I have given background on the global issue, for the research here I've chosen to work with refugees of the Refugee Resettlement Program in Vermont. Since 1989, at least 6,300 men, women, and children have come to Vermont through a federal refugee resettlement program. That 25-year total includes 1,705 Bosnians, mostly Muslims, 1,437 Bhutanese, many of whom had been living in exile in Nepal, and about 1,000 Africans fleeing violence in Burundi, Congo, Rwanda, Somalia, and Sudan.